everyone, how's it going? I had a live yesterday, and what ended up happening was I kind of went into a bit of a rage fit yesterday, and I had to delete that video because I was releasing like fairly personal information. Um and I didn't want that video to remain up there for that reason. Um the thing about this is that the person who yelled out slut 2 days ago, um, I reported them to the council, and I preemptively reported them to the police, not because I felt like something like this was a police matter, because it wasn't. I mean, if I felt like it was, I would have reported every single gang stalker who, basically fat shamed me or racially baited me or sexually. Like, I would have reported. Like, there are people who have said so much worse, like literally so much fucking worse to me. But because I'm not in the hostel anymore, I'm in a flat. That's A. B, I've reported it to the council. And the way the council would have advised me to deal with it is how landlords advise you to deal with it, and that's to call the police about it. So somebody calling me a slut, like, that is just the most minimal shit a person could say to a targeted individual. Because let me tell you something right now, in order to justify this kind of torture against us, the lies have to get a lot worse than that. So it's not that, and it was never that upset me. In fact, I kind of regret is like, when it comes to anything to do with that area, I have regrets, and the regrets are not how many people I've actually been with. That's not one of my regrets. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I used to take that so personally, but now I don't, because I know so much about sexual alchemy and sex positivity. Like, it just doesn't affect me anymore. So with them calling me what they called me, that's actually not what the issue was. The issue was that what was clearly going on is that these people didn't know me. They clearly didn't read the files on me, because there are files on me every single time gang stalkers are hired to in a campaign against me. There are files that you have to read on that person. I mean, a gang stalker from London made that fucking clear. Gaslighting to me about, oh, there are files on you and this, that. And she even told me there were files on me. So there are files on me that people have to read carefully in order to be able to effectively stalk the target. What ends up happening, what constantly keeps happening, is that there are gang stalkers that are assigned to me, and they don't read the paperwork. They don't read it properly, because remember, the kind of people that are hired to do this job, they're not going to be the kind of people who use their brain, let alone read, okay? So these people don't read the files on me. They don't get to know me, like, in terms of how to best effectively torture me. They don't do any of that. Instead, they are hired purely, because they're either being blackmailed or bribed, or the cruelty of, torturing someone to death slowly, it appeals to them. So it's like, that's one of three reasons why people get involved in gang stalking to begin with. So of course they're not going to read the files, and that's always what leads to these people getting me angry, thinking that they're going to get me angry in a way that's not going to expose them, when I'm basically handing this to them on a platter. When I get angry, I overthink. When I get angry, I overthink. When I get angry, my memory gets sharper. When I get angry, I remember all the different things people have done to me in fucking detail. And I end up singing like a goddamn canary, revealing everybody's shit, exposing everybody. That's what happens every single time I get angry. What they're thinking is that if I get angry enough, that I'll start being violent or making threats. But if you look at my history and who I am as a person, Those occasions are very rare, and even when they do happen, people don't get hurt like that by me. People don't get hurt by me. I get hurt by other people. I'm tortured electronically all the time, but in comparison, I don't cause that much grief. I really don't. I'm not a violent person. And the thing is, the gang stalkers know, or the handlers know, that I have borderline personality disorder. They know that I get angry, but they know that I'm not necessarily inclined to physical violence like that. I'm more likely to cuss someone out. So that's what ends up happening. What ends up happening is that these people are hired to do a specific job. They don't read the fucking file. They think that all they need to do is get me angry, and that's going to do their job for them. So it ended up in a situation yesterday where anger that had been months in the making since I came here to Brighton. So I came here to Brighton. There had been gang stalkers around me. I hadn't said anything because I wanted to focus on getting somewhere permanent. This situation is not permanent, okay? I wanted to focus on getting somewhere permanent because I'm in a new city. I don't know anybody. And what I don't want to do is rock the boat. So I tried and failed to keep certain shit to myself. And I tried not to rock the boat. I tried not to report anybody. Like, it didn't work out. It did not work out. What I am glad about is that when I first came to Brighton, that I spoke about the electronic torture and the psycho torture immediately. I immediately spoke out about that. So that's one thing that I'm grateful for, because now everybody's got a heads up. And with the things that I've been complaining about over the time that I've been here, now people know I'm not making it up. If they didn't know before, they definitely know now that I'm not making shit up. What angered me yesterday was, I don't think they were gaslighting me yesterday. I don't think they were taunting me yesterday. I think that when a certain person came home, they were kind of aggravated by what was going on. That's what caused me to yell back to them. They weren't taunting me. I don't think they were taunting me at that time. I think genuinely they were kind of like, what the fuck is going on right now? But with me, because, you know, apparently that family that's behind me, they've only been there for a couple of weeks. Like, it's like shit isn't adding up, because they've been, you know, people from behind the wall there, they've been taunting me long before then. Like, since I've come into this flat. Since I've come into this flat, shit hasn't been right. I remember when I first moved in here, I was under a lot more pain in specific areas of my body being in my room than I was in the living room, or I was when I went out. So things stay not being right since I've been here. They haven't been right, but I haven't said anything because I know that my borderline personality will be used against me. I know that my complex PTSD will be used against me. I also know that because of my paranoid schizophrenic diagnosis, which is erroneous, I know that because of that, it's immediately going to be painted as a schizophrenic episode. And because of my history with gaslighting, I can hear certain random noises and think it's somebody taunting me. So even if they're kicking off next door, if I'm not entirely sure of exactly what it is they're saying, I'm not going to make an official report. Or at least I'm going to try not to do that. Once again, I don't succeed, but that's what I try to do. I try to keep a lid on it until I know for sure what somebody else is saying about me. But things have been not right since the time I moved in here. I don't know how long. Apparently, that's a family that's been here for a couple of weeks, according to the police officer. According to one police officer anyway. The other police officer that came to see me, they weren't buying that shit at all. There was something that they said there's something going on, because they know she's not making it up. So, what was I gonna say? What I was gonna say is that I was very angry yesterday, so I had to take that video down. And yeah, I just had enough by that point. I just had enough. It's just been building up for months now. You know, it, like I said, it wasn't just this flat that kicked me off, and somebody calling me a slut. Like, I'm sorry, it's just so stupid. Like, it's really stupid. You know, I can laugh about it now, but it's really, it's just a stupid insult. Like, I don't know you. Do you know what I mean? I don't know you from a can of paint. It was just very, very silly. And, you know, not true. Well, not anymore anyway. But I don't know. It's just, it's a really stupid. It's a really stupid insult. I'm sorry. It was so stupid. Like, considering like how much else I've been through, it just wasn't. That's not what I was angry about. That's not what angered me. What angered me was the lies, because I knew when shit kicked off over there, over the police report, I knew that they were going to be hiding their hands after they'd been throwing rocks. I'd heard a lot of stuff from over there. I'd heard, I think I was making a video on the Saturn Chronicles, like I said before. I've mentioned this like a couple of times. And I made a video saying like nothing matters. I hear from over there, from the back wall, stop saying nothing matters. So people have been taunting me, people have been gaslighting me, but I needed something clear and audible to land them with. So the person who called me a slut, it's not actually their fault that this transpired, because that would have happened sooner or later. Like I said before, the gang stalkers, they don't do their job correctly. They wait for when I'm vulnerable. They wait for when what they think is a vulnerable moment, and then they pounce. That's what they do. Yeah? That's what they do. They wait for a vulnerable moment and they pounce, and they get loud and they get desperate. And they do that because I don't react. I don't give them the reaction that they're looking for. So they have to find something to use on me. That's why what happened. It wasn't because she called me a slut. It was because it was so loud and so audible. I'm smiling because of how dumb it is. I'm sorry. It was so loud and so audible and so conspicuous. I'm thinking, yeah, I can hook you with this. That's not a mistake. That's not a mistake. I can't mistake that for anything else. That was very audible and very clear. So it kind of proves to me that I was right about Kudos, or specific people within Kudos, being involved in harassing me out of here, or trying to and having an harassment campaign to harass me from place to place. Okay? To try to harass me out of the building and to try and find stuff to use against me in order to do this to me. It ain't my first rodeo, okay? Because I'm a gang stalking victim. So it was when they did that I knew, yeah, I'm not imagining shit, and I could hook something to them. Do you know what I mean? But it's not that person's fault. I mean, that little girl is stupid as hell, but if it wasn't her, it would have been someone else. It would have been one of them people next door, because they're loud as hell. If it wasn't that female voice, it would have been someone else. It would have been someone else if it wasn't her. So that is not about her, and it's not about what she said. She's an idiot. A non-factor. I don't even know her name, and she already revealed herself to be an idiot. So she is a complete non-factor in this. A complete non-factor, because this is something that's been going on in my life for like over a decade at least. She's a non-factor. But she did she did make it clear, yeah, we are harassing you in order to free up the flat. She did make that clear. She made it clear that we need you upset in order to free up the flat. That she did. That's what, and the fact that these people, there was somebody else next door who was basically questioning what was going on because they didn't know the whole story. There was somebody else next door who was, basically questioning everything and questioning what was happening. And the guy, I know his name. There's one guy whose name I know. That guy tried to deny everything that was happening. They tried to deny, oh no, she's crazy. She's making this up. She's lying. That's not what's happening. But there are already suspicions that I'm telling the truth. That's why people move me from place to place, because the idea is that I'm supposed to be in an environment that I can't control. The whole point of targeting in the first place is to remove you of agency. And to remove you of agency, they have to remove you of your ability to self-regulate. They have to remove you of your ability to cognitively grasp what's going on. That's why they keep causing brain damage, because they want to affect your ability to cognitively understand what's going on. That's why the electronic torture is there, as well as the psychological torture. It's ultimately to affect your central nervous system, your brain, and all your nerve endings. So while you don't die fast enough for people to be suspicious, you at least die fast enough to not be an undesirable walking the earth, that type of shit. Okay? So when when my handlers see that is not happening, when they see that my cognitive ability, whilst they see my cognitive ability is not damaged in that way, once they know I'm quick and I can catch up on things, once they know that they can't control me even when I lose control, once they know that, there is nowhere else to take the abuse, that's when they move me on, and that's when they move me forward. That's why I've been moved from place to place. It's not actually because, I'm a problem or, I'm violent or all the rest of it. It's because I'm very difficult to institutionalize. I'm very difficult to catch out in a lie because I don't lie most of the time. I'm very difficult to argue against because I read, because I study, because because I'm constantly fucking thinking and constantly fucking talking. I'm very difficult to argue against. So even when I get angry, in fact, when I get angry, I overthink even more. I'm even more articulate. I'm even more on the ball, because when I get angry, they can't fucking argue with me. They keep going around in this cycle of, we can't control her, move her somewhere else where she can be controlled. It's just going to keep going like that. And they're never going to learn, because it's always going to be the same situation where people don't read the fucking notes, think that they got it like that because they don't know me. And then the same shit happens over and over again. I keep being moved, not because I'm out of control, but because I am firmly in control. And in order to lessen the amount of rent-controlled accommodations, rent-controlled private accommodations, in order to lessen them, there has to be proof beyond reasonable doubt that people on welfare are not trustworthy, don't pay their bills, cause trouble, cause drama. There's a reason behind this. This is urban planning. This is urban planning and real estate. This is about business. This is partially about real estate. Let's be clear. Where there's blood on the streets, you buy property, right? So this is partly about real estate and business. It's partly about pharmaceuticals as well. And it's partly about defense systems and defense strategies against potential threats. That's what this is about. This is a big deal. Do you understand what I mean? So that's why they keep moving me from place to place. The handlers keep having me moved from place to place, because they can't control me more than so. Even when I lose control, they can't stop me from exposing them. They can't stop me from getting them banged to rights. They can't stop any of that shit. Like, it doesn't matter how angry they get me, how much pain they put me in. I'm not going to shut up. And I'm always going to outsmart them. And they keep doing the same thing, hoping for a different result. Okay, if they want to do that, that's on them. But then don't throw rocks and hide your hands. That's why I was getting angry yesterday, because these people were acting like they were innocent. I only said the word slut once. Like, don't say it at all. Even though it's stupid and it doesn't really hurt my feelings. Even though it's really, really stupid, just don't say it. Period. I'm talking about a vulnerable sore spot in my life, and you're trying to use that in order to get a reaction and lean on my mental illness. I don't care if you said it once. You could have said it 100 times. It's not even what you said. Like, people call each other slut for a joke. Whore for a joke. You understand? Like, it ain't the word. It's why you did it. And you did it to lean on a person in a vulnerable moment. That's why you did it. So it doesn't matter what if you did it once or 100 times. You're a fucking idiot. Shut your mouth. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, basically that about sums it up. I've got a recording of, recording of the police interview that I did, because the police came round here yesterday. One of them I have known from a past report that I made about, like, I think it was potential fraud, because I was getting crank calls. I was constantly getting crank calls. I was constantly getting people calling and hanging up and shit. So I decided to call the police to try and iron it out and find out what the hell's going on. But yeah, spoke to the police yesterday. I've only got like a snippet of that police interview, explaining everything. I tend to go in roundabouts when I talk. So what I'm hoping is that when you listen to this recording, that this recording explains it better than me. Okay? So let me just play it for you guys now. Hold up. Hold up. Okay, so... Oh shit, sorry. Sorry about that, sorry. So, what happened basically was that I was just minding my own business, because normally what I do is I record stuff on my phone, like you see here. So, sometimes when I get up in the morning or I have a dissociative episode, I'll kind of record what's on my mind rather than think out loud. So that was at 9:13. At 9:30, I ended a 23-minute, 10-second recording. It was 9:43 when I heard, I'll show you. Forgive my room. No, forgive my room, but... Was it this morning? It wasn't this morning, it was yesterday morning. Whoever's through there, okay. I heard them shout the word slut through there. Right. Because the thing is, during the recording I talked about being slut-shamed when I was younger. Okay. So they decided to pipe up and start saying that word for absolutely no reason. I don't know them. Oh, so you think it's your neighbour through the wall? Yeah, it was a female voice. I don't know if they're still there or not. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah. But I know what I heard yesterday. So I'm just thinking, I'm over here minding my business. Why are you basically calling me a slut out of nowhere? Yeah. So I'm not entirely sure who lives over there. I can't get the number. Right. But that's what I heard from yesterday morning, and that's why I reported it to the council. Sure. And I reported it to the council. Oh, okay. So you think it's because they heard you talking about it when you were recording? I think it was a thing. I think it was a thing where they wanted to get a reaction out of me. I did say over the phone But I don't think it's personal.
Yeah.
That I think, given the circumstances of with the COVID regulations when it comes to tenants,
Yeah.
I think what they were trying to do was they were trying to get me out of the flat. Now, I think, from my perspective, I'm guessing it's not actual fact.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that it's actually for freeing up the flat so that they can get somebody else to move in. Yeah, I'm sorry about the noise in the background, because what's happening now is my clothes are drying, so I'm sorry about the noise. I hope you guys can hear the recording audibly, but let me continue. That's why the harassment kicked off over there. Now,
Okay.
I don't think it's the first time that they've actually made taunts or gaslights from over there, but this is the first time that somebody said something loud and clear.
Right.
For me to ascertain.
Do you think it was directed to you?
Yeah, it was definitely directed to me, because they shouted it through the wall. Why would they shout the word slut when they know the word slut was used? And plus, these walls are like cling film, so they know it wasn't directed at them. So why else would they say that to me?
So did they just go slut?
Yeah.
And shout it quite loud?
Yeah.
Was it just the once? Did they mention your name?
I think, no, that's what I'm saying. They don't know my name.
Yeah.
They don't know me, and I don't know them.
Yeah. Right.
So I don't think it was the first time that they said it. I think they said it again when I came home this evening. They said it again, but it wasn't as clear. That one time, like yesterday morning, it was absolutely clear. There is no mistake.
Yeah. No, just let her jump on the mic.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying and stuff like that. And have you ever had any issues with them or anything like that?
If I'm honest, I'm going to be really honest with you guys, right? Like I said before, I do not believe that this is the first time that they've actually said something.
Yeah.
But because of my PTSD and my borderline personality disorder, and also because I've been erroneously diagnosed as paranoid schizophrenic, I didn't want to just jump off at the first thing that maybe or maybe not somebody has said,
because you didn't know if it had happened.
That's what I'm saying. Because the thing is, it could be gaslighting, it could be something innocent, or it could be they're talking about something else.
Yeah.
I wanted to be absolutely sure, because I've suspected them of gaslighting me before and taunting me out of nowhere. But I had to be absolutely sure. And when I heard slut from next door, that's when I knew something was going on.
What's the soundproofing like between the walls? Is it?
It's absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Those people could be like just quietly doing whatever it is that they've got to do, and I could literally hear almost everything. Yeah. The walls here are terrible.
So, would you like us to go around and talk to them about it?
I think.
What would you like?
I would like to leave it to your discretion, because the thing is, the only reason I even called you guys is because I actually contacted the council about this, and I know that they would have advised me to call you.
Oh, so you wanted the reference number and stuff like that for the report? Okay.
Yeah, but the person over the phone said that it was best that you come and see me to get it from me.
Yeah.
So I think they kind of did what they thought was best at the time.
Yeah.
So I can't fault them for that.
Yeah, because what I don't want to do is, if there's an issue,
it's escalating.
Us going round there.
Alright, so that's where it ends. Okay, I have an 18-minute... It's an 18-minute recording. I've already sent it to myself. Just got to find a way to edit it and chop it up, so that maybe you guys can hear the full version. I'm trying to avoid making as much noise as possible, because I don't need to hear anybody's mouth right now about me. So I'm trying to keep the noise to a minimum as much as I can. What I will say is that when it comes to my anger from last night, first of all, I let these people know back there that I wanted them to hear me. I let them know that. So if they want to try to make out like my rage, came with threats, or my rage was violent, or my rage was anything to do with those things, I have that deleted video downloaded if they really want to take it there. If they really want to go and make false accusations and say that I'm being threatening, I'm being violent, I'm being all the rest, I've got a video recorded that debunks everything that they've said and backs up everything that I've said. When I get angry, I overanalyze. And 9 times out of 10, my overanalysis is right. So, if they really want to take it there and make out like I'm some big black cartoon character that they can make a caricature out of, I've got a video that proves otherwise if they really want to take it there. And I don't know if the nail bar can hear what's going on. I'm trying to keep it level because I'm not trying to scare those people, because those people have been listening in as well. But I don't think they're involved in the stalking yet. I don't think they're involved in anything. I think what's happened is that it when the main people bothering you are trying to make themselves look better, they will charm other people around them, because naturally as a target you want to keep yourself to yourself, right? So what the gang stalkers will do is they will gather allies and tell them false information. So I think that people with the nail bar might have been told false information, coupled with the fact that I'm not actually very friendly anyway, and that I tend to just mind my business. That will kind of make me look bad, and it will kind of make me look like a bit sketchy to people. And they've heard me. They heard me yesterday because my boyfriend was here. And there were a couple of times where I got super passionate. One specific time where I got really fucking angry. And I wasn't angry with my boyfriend. In fact, when I was talking, at that time that I really, really was angry and I really was furious, my boyfriend that was here, he was in complete agreement with what I was angry about. So that wasn't even an argument. Do you know what I mean? And hold on. And then what happened? I said, I don't want to talk about this anymore because I'm pissed off. I don't want to talk about it. So my boyfriend, being him, right? This is what he does every time things get kind of out of control. He plays folk music, and then he relaxes, I relax. So me and him end up laughing, because the thing is that for me to go from go from being angry about something to fucking playing folk music and saying nothing, like the thought of it just made me laugh. So we both ended up laughing. Like, so that's what happened. Like, oh Jesus. No, it was funny to me. It was just funny to me, like the switching it up so drastically like that. I just found it funny. But yeah, that was this anger inside me has been building for a while now. Been trying to avoid it. Reasons: big black woman, very, very easy to characterize me as being angry for no reason and crazy for no reason. Like, it's easy to do that. So I tried to avoid that. I'm thinking, let me at least get into a permanent place first before the smear campaigns start and the harassment campaigns start. Of course it didn't happen. I mean, gang stalkers are the same people that were basically gaslighting me during me grieving over my grandmother. So we already know they ain't got no shame or dignity. So this has been building for a while, but yeah, so that's the video. To those who have supported me during that deleted video, I apologize profusely for taking it down, but I had to, because I was revealing people's names and I couldn't have that out there of my own accord. Not yet. Not until I know what my living situation is. Now, it's very likely that after everything that's happened, that Kudos and the council, Brighton Council, will move me on. It's likely that they will do that, but because I want to I'm trying to revamp my image and my brand, because I want to actually, like, I don't even want to just make money. I want to make something noteworthy for when when I eventually leave this planet. Like, actually want to make a proper impact before I go. So I'm thinking, so everything that I'm doing right now is aimed towards that goal. So wherever I move to, whatever I'm doing is aimed towards that. So if I know how secure I am in a place and exactly what's going on, it allows me to build up business ideas and business interests. It allows me to build up an office environment around that security. That's why I need a permanent base of operations, because for me, it's not even just about targeting and getting the word out about targeting, even though I still want to do that. It's also about taking what I'm passionate about and helping other people with it. That's ultimately what it's about. And I can't do that if I'm constantly worried about, whether I'm going to stay here for 6 months or 6 years, or like, if I'm constantly worrying about shit, then I can't build up a permanent setup in order to, like, basically slowly build my career or slowly build what I'm trying to do. And again, that's something that the gang stalkers are relying on, because they know I'm slow to do shit. They know I'll do shit last minute, or I'm slow to do shit. They know that. So that's another thing that they lean on in order to try and block my progress as a woman. But again, doesn't work, because they're relying on me to be silent. And I'm thinking, silent where? You've put me through agony, so why the fuck am I going to be silent for you? I've been electronically tortured to the point where I can't fucking walk. I couldn't walk for weeks. Tortured to the point where you hit my fucking jaw. I was fucking high as a kite, dissociating in a freezing cold hostel because you wanted to be in charge. Like, I ain't shutting up for you. It's not happening. There's way too much permanent damage that you've caused for me to shut up. So keep dreaming. So that's why they're going to keep moving me, is because I have too much control over the situation. And every time I have too much control, they move me on. That's what happens. So I'm going to watch this space. I'm going to see what they do next. These people are, like, for the most part, the people that are targeting me, the people that are doing this to me, they're super predictable. They are super predictable. So it's just a matter of time of watching and waiting and seeing what happens before I decide on a next move. But right now, there's only one fucking thing I care about, and that's my fucking career. I'm sorry. I've got a boyfriend and all that, and I love him and all the rest of it, but I actually want to do something with my life that's actually noteworthy. But I want to do it from a place of truth, and that's always been my thing, If I'm going to make an impact on the world, it has to be based on somebody that I actually am, rather than me pretending to be somebody else. That's why, that's part of the reason why I always laid my demons bare on the table, because I'm thinking the more open I am about my demons, is the less that it's reserved for the worst people in the world. So the worst people in the world cannot weaponize it, and instead people who feel the same way or people who go through the same thing can know that they are not alone. So when I decide to do readings, or when I decide to do my music, acknowledging the abuse that I've been through without blaming it for my actions, acknowledging how exactly the abuse that I'm going through, acknowledging it, how it's affected me, and acknowledging my responsibility in how I treat other people. That is a part of my brand. Painful truths and painful, that's a part of my brand. In fact, pain in general is a part of my brand. I don't know what I would have done if the gang stalking wasn't there. I can't say for sure. But pain while it's a part of my life, it's going to be a part of my brand. So I wanted to actually get my career started. I've wanted to do that for quite some time, but I couldn't do it being false. I got some readings to do, actually. I better get... Speaking of readings, I've got some readings to do. I better get on doing that. I'm almost finished with the dailies. I love you guys. Take care. I don't know what I'm going to do today. There's so many options. So much choice. But anyway, I love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.